Good evening, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this evening, constable who was mowed down, improving but not out of the woods. The policeman who was mowed down during a traffic stop last week Friday is said to be improving. That's the word from Superintendent of Police in charge of St. James, Aaron Samuels, who provided an update during the monthly council meeting of the St. James Municipal Corporation on Thursday. Some good news that we received yesterday is that he started to breathe a little better on his own, so they started to wean him off the ventilator and moved him from Falmouth to the ICU at Cornwall Regional, he related to the gathering. He's however not out of the woods, he's still in critical condition, he clarified. The constable, he explained, was part of a team coordinating a roadblock on the St. John's roadway when the incident occurred. They had received some intelligence about vehicles traveling that space with weapons. Upon seeing that particular pro box, the constable signaled for it to be stopped, and he slowed down, and then he sped up and hit the constable, Samuels shared. According to Samuels, the constable fell between 50 to 70 meters and sustained different degrees of injuries as a result. His jawbone was broken and he has some head injuries. The head injuries are the areas of concerns for us. He was admitted in critical condition and placed in the ICU on the ventilator, he revealed. The hope is that the injuries will soon heal for the constable. There is no specific area of the brain that is damaged, but there are small damages all over. Only time will tell how best he will recover from it, he said. The driver of the pro box and the car in question are now in custody, and the lawman said they are working to put everything in place in relation to the incident. This indeed seems intentional, and we have the driver of the vehicle in custody. We have the vehicle as well, and we will be prosecuting him as soon as we gather everything, because we want to ensure that we do the correct thing, he said. He is further hopeful that the incident will not deter lawmen in the division from doing their work, which has seen them take nearly 90 firearms off the streets since the start of the year. We really and truly want to ensure that our officers remain committed to doing what they are doing. This will not stop us from trying to rid the streets of weapons and the transportation of weapons in and around the St. James Division, Samuels said. Police launched a manhunt after Cassava Peace shooting leaves a woman dead and 5 injured. The St. Andrew North Police have launched several operations aimed at capturing those responsible for Wednesday night's mass shooting in Cassava Peace, which claimed the life of a woman. The deceased has been identified as 28-year-old Kellyanne Bernard, a mother of 3. A man who initial police reports said had died remains in critical condition in hospital. 4 others are also nursing gunshot wounds. The 6 were among patrons playing domino at a shop about 7:34 p.m. when men alighted from a car and opened heavy gunfire indiscriminately. The injured were rushed to hospital in separate motor vehicles, one of which crashed along Mannings Hill Road. At least one man, who was not a gunshot victim, suffered injuries from the crash. The news understands that a major police operation was carried out in another section of Cassava Peace Wednesday night. Operations are currently ongoing in different sections of the division. Meanwhile, as at October 5, the St. Andrew North Police Division had recorded 51 murders, a 16% increase over the corresponding period last year. Shootings were also up 14%, with 56 reports compared to 49 at the same time in 2023. Police continue efforts to curtail crime in Manchester. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says with a lottery scamming identified as the motive behind some of the recent murders and the shootings in Manchester, he will be having discussions with the police commissioner and the Minister of National Security to ensure the scheme and its spin-off effects do not take hold in the parish. The Manchester police have said outside influences are behind some of the incidents, including the mass shooting in the Mandeville Town Centre last Friday. Prime Minister Holness was on Wednesday briefed by Commanding Officer Deputy Superintendent Kerry Duncan on the strategies implemented to curb the violence in the parish. Mr. Holness expressed a concern that the peaceful character of Manchester is changing and urged the DSP Duncan to use all available crime-fighting resources. Meanwhile, DSP Duncan said the 48-hour curfews in place in several areas will continue until the violence is cauterized. Horace, Clarkstown, Redberry, Trinity, Mandeville, Midday, New Hall and the surrounding areas are under curfew.
In the poorer space, Clarkstown, Redberry, Trinity, as also in the Mandeville space, Mayday, New Hall, and areas that surround that general locality. Then these curfews we see them as important in order to clamp down on some activities that we have been having. So I just want to ask the general public to just be understanding where we are concerned. Just to know that whatever we're embarking on now is to make your community safer and better.
Alleged gang leader Tesha Miller and the 22 co-accused appeared in court. Alleged leader of the Klansman gang, Tesha Miller, and his 22 co-accused, including Dr. Paul Robinson, are to return to the Home Circuit Court on December 12 for case management to continue. The men, except for Dr. Robinson, were remanded when they appeared in court on Thursday. Earlier in Thursday's proceedings, the prosecutor told the court that defense attorneys had received the electronic disclosure ordered by the court during the previous sitting, but the prosecutor said the index of the disclosed material that was to be served on the defense from September 6 was outstanding. The Crown Counsel explained that the prosecution's current equipment is unable to make the documents searchable. Responding to the judge, the prosecution said it will revise the presentation of the material on the link so the data in relation to each accused person will be in a separate folder and will be disclosed on November 29. But Mr. Miller's attorney, John Clark, raised a concern about the lack of disclosure on behalf of defense counsel, noting that the prosecution was ordered to disclose the documents. The prosecution responded to Mr. Clark's concern, stating that some attorneys had expressed issues with accessing some of the documents on the link, and for that reason, it is requesting additional time to revise the presentation, which requires re-uploading. Justice Vinette Graham Allen ruled that the prosecution's request is reasonable. The matter was subsequently adjourned. It is alleged that between August 5, 2017 and August 22, 2022, the defendants participated in several criminal activities, including murder and robbery with aggravation in St. Catherine. They are charged with murder, conspiracy to murder, attempted murder, robbery with aggravation, among other offenses. Dental surgeons signed public sector wage agreement. The Ministry of Finance and the public sector dental surgeons have signed a new wage agreement under the government's compensation review program. The agreement was signed on Wednesday. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark said his ministry signed the last compensation restructuring agreement with the union representing dental surgeons. He said while groups representing over 99% of public sector workers signed the compensation reconstructing agreements mostly in 2022 and a few in 2023, closure with this important group has been outstanding. The Jamaica Association of Public Dental Surgeons had been voicing concern over the protracted wage negotiations. Thank you everyone for watching. See you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for another news update.